All right, let's talk about something we've all felt. You know that feeling when you look at your bank account and just think, where did all my money go? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on some of these modern money traps that are designed to drain your wallet, sometimes without you even realizing it.
And it's a super frustrating feeling, right? You've paid your rent, you've covered the bills, you've bought what feels like just the normal stuff, and then poof, it's just gone. And you don't even have a big, shiny new thing to show for it. So what is going on here?
You know, you are definitely not imagining this. It's a real thing. As one financial analyst puts it, it's like your money just evaporates into thin air. It's a super common experience. So let's get to the bottom of why that happens. Okay, so here's the real heart of the problem. A whole lot of the stuff we buy every day isn't actually priced based on its true value. Instead, we end up paying this huge premium for clever marketing, for fancy packaging, and for the idea that it's better. And that's how a good value gets turned into a bad one.
So, here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll look at why our paychecks seem to vanish. Then, we're going to dive deep into these everyday money pits and the promises companies sell us. But most importantly, we're going to finish with how you can start reclaiming your hard-earned dollars. Let's start with the vanishing paycheck. Look, this isn't about one giant purchase that blows up your budget. No, this is more like death by a thousand cuts. It's a whole cycle of small, seemingly harmless buys that add up and perform a financial magic trick by the end of the month. So, where does this vanishing act actually happen? Well, it starts with what we can call everyday money pits. These are those routine purchases, that things so baked into our daily habits that we just don't even question how much they're really costing us. And let's start with an absolute classic, that fancy coffee. That $5 or $6 latte from the cafe. Yeah, you could make pretty much this same thing at home for like pennies a cup. I mean, when you actually look at the numbers side by side, the difference is just staggering. And what does that daily little treat really add up to? It can easily cost you over $1,000 a year. $1,000? Just think about that for a second. That's a huge chunk of change for something you could make for next to nothing at home. And this right here is the absolute key. You're not really paying for better coffee. You're paying for the brand, the routine, the feeling that you're treating yourself. The marketing geniuses have shifted your focus from the product itself to the experience. And that, my friends, is the trap. And once you start looking for it, you'll see this pattern literally everywhere. Organic food, often twice the price for what most studies say is a tiny, if any, nutritional benefit. Those meal kits, you're basically paying restaurant prices for groceries you still have to cook yourself. And don't even get me started on bottled water, which is often just tap water with an insane marketing markup. But it's not just physical stuff you can hold in your hand. The next kind of money trap is even sneakier. We're talking about paying for promises. This is where companies sell you things you can't even touch, and they do it by tapping into your hopes and, even more effectively, your fears. A perfect example? The extended warranty. You know how hard they push those at the checkout? That's because they are almost pure profit for the stores. They're selling you peace of mind by playing on your fear that your new TV might break, getting you to pay for protection on a product that, statistically, is probably not going to fail anyway. Now let's talk about a promise based on hope. Workout supplements. The marketing is brilliant, right? They promise a shortcut to all your fitness goals. They're literally selling you the dream of a better you, right there in a plastic tub. But then, there's the reality. This industry is so poorly regulated, it's kind of like the Wild West. Companies can pretty much claim whatever they want. And the simple truth is, most of those expensive powders and pills don't do much of anything that a good diet and some exercise wouldn't do way better, and for a lot less money. Okay, this table on premium gas breaks it down perfectly. It's all about paying for a promise. The marketing claims you'll get better performance, but the reality for most cars out there is nothing. Zero difference. So unless your car's manual specifically says you need it, you're just paying up to 40 cents more per gallon for literally no benefit. Your engine won't notice, but your wallet sure will.
And believe me, this fear-based selling model is everywhere. Home security systems that lock you into these expensive monthly contracts for what's often just a really loud alarm. Pet insurance that has so many exclusions and loopholes that it might not even pay out when you need it. Or those credit monitoring services that charge you a monthly fee for something you can pretty easily do yourself for free.
So after seeing all of these traps, the big question is, what do you do about it? How do you fight back? Well, that brings us to the most important part of this whole thing, reclaiming your dollars. And it really all comes down to one simple but really powerful shift in how you think.
Here's the most important thing to get. From the moment you wake up, you are the target of constant, incredibly sophisticated marketing, and its only goal is to create a feeling inside you. The feeling that you need the premium version, or the special experience, or the extra protection, all just to get you to open your wallet.
The solution, though, is actually pretty simple. It's a little two-step thought process to run through before you buy anything. First, just pause. Seriously, just take a breath and break that impulse. And second, and this is the game changer, ask yourself one simple question. And this is it. This is the question. Ask yourself, is this product or service really better? Or am I just paying for the marketing, for the shiny box, the clever ad, the feeling they've spent millions of dollars to create? If you're honest with yourself, most of the time, you already know the answer.